Good morning. This is nice. I stand up to the podium and I think people get quiet and look towards me. So good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning and welcome here to Boiling Springs, to TCO Outfitters. Thank you very much for hosting this event. We're very happy to be here this morning to be talking about outdoor recreation and its significance to the state of Pennsylvania. My name's Nathan Rigner. I am the Director of Outdoor Recreation for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This is a new position for us here in the state. It's a position that recognizes the significance of outdoor recreation, its connection to communities, to environment, to businesses, to our health and well-being. And we're here. We've got a great slate of speakers with us today that run the gamut from environmental interests to community interests, small businesses, and even some representatives from Washington, D.C. here. Throughout the morning, we look forward to sharing our comments with you, taking some questions from you when we're finished. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome Secretary Cindy Adams-Dunn, Secretary of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, a great and avid outdoor recreationist herself, to share some words about outdoor recreation writ large and the role it plays in our state. Secretary Dunn?
Yeah. The geese are applauding you, Nathan.
Applauding you.
Applauding your comments. Anyway, it's great to be here. I would like to take credit for the weather, but I think I have to cede that to Tim. This is a fishing boat in the lake, so I have to give Tim credit for clearing the clouds and creating the warm temperature. This is a momentous day for Pennsylvania. You know, we've long been an outdoor state. Hunting, fishing, hiking, paddling, biking, you name it, any form of outdoor rec, we've long been a leader. We have an outdoor ethic in our Commonwealth that many of us have grown up with and really enjoying. We have some leaders at DCNR I want to acknowledge who have been trying to bring a focus to that for years. Even though we operate the biggest block of public lands in the Commonwealth, and we fund the local communities and the biggest network of trails and the highest number of water trails, we recognize the need to bring it together in a more focused and meaningful way. And Gretchen Leslie and Lauren Emgren are here from our leadership team at DCNR. Lauren's our deputy and Gretchen's a senior advisor. And they've been working on this issue to bring a focus and coalesce the opportunity around outdoor recreation that we have for not only the economy of Pennsylvania, but for the quality of life and the very future of Pennsylvania. You think about what's core to us as Pennsylvanians, what's core to bringing new people into Pennsylvania. It really is a quality of life, and you can't really beat the quality of life the recreational amenities we have in Pennsylvania bring us. A good example of that is right behind me. You see just the edge of a mountain range that goes south from here into the Michaud. We have representatives today from Kings Gap Environmental Ed Center and the Michaud Forest District. You'll be able to pick our DCNR folks out by their uniforms and logos and such. But this island of public recreation and conservation is really the tip of the Blue Ridge. It comes up, it's the same thing as the Smoky Mountains. It comes up this far and more or less kind of ends here at Dillsburg. We coalesce that with a lot of partners. We have the South Mountain Partnership, Katie Hess here. And we couldn't do what we do statewide without the Pennsylvania Park and Forest Foundation. Our network of 121 state parks and 2.2 million acres of forest land is we have partnerships with volunteer groups, friends groups like PPFF and like the Friends of Pine Grove Furnace that are here. So this is a network of outdoor recreation players that have been here for a long time. And we got today, we have the county, Cumberland County, who recognizes outdoor recreation. The economic development folks are here because they recognize outdoor recreation as a key element of life in Cumberland County, a place where I'm a resident. Point being, it's complex. We have a lot of us bringing this together and holding it together, and we've been doing a very good job. But we haven't risen it to the level that it needs to be. It demands the very existence of the DCNR lands. You'll hear about fish and boat and the game lands. It demands a higher focus, and that's why we were able to hire Nathan Rigner. We had a long plan to attract somebody to be our Director of Outdoor Recreation. We're very fortunate that we could attract Nathan to the role. He's spent his career understanding as a social scientist, outdoor recreation, and really bringing the elements together. And he's done this work in other countries and states and really knows this business, and was most recently at Penn State. So we're very fortunate to be able to work with Nathan and bring together the state agencies whom you hear from, as well as our vast partnership across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So today really marks the official beginning of taking Pennsylvania's recreation to the next level and really placing us on the scale we need to be nationwide, and bringing to focus the $12 billion industry that we really enjoy in Pennsylvania. So with that, I will turn it back over to Nathan.
Thank you very much, Secretary Dunn. Your comments really do highlight the importance of outdoor recreation in the state of Pennsylvania, and thank you for the kind words you shared about me and my role. And as you talk about the complexity and interconnectedness of outdoor recreation, that's one of the areas that I look forward to dedicating myself to through my work as Director of Outdoor Recreation. Outdoor recreation is a meta sector, if you will. It involves elements of land and natural resource management, of course, also tourism and hospitality, and transportation, healthcare, and services, manufacturing, our friends in the outdoor recreation industry. And it's my role as Director of Outdoor Recreation to be a person within the state who can mind the store, so to speak, holistically and systematically, to support all elements of the outdoor recreation industry. At the national level, we have support for that as well with the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable, the Outdoor Industry Association. Our next speaker that I'd like to welcome is David Dickerson, the Vice President of State Government Relations at the National Marine Manufacturers Association, who's representing the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable as its chair. Please help me in welcoming David.
Hey, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm here on behalf of representing the ORR, the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable, as well as the boat engine, trailer, and accessory manufacturers that make up the National Marine Manufacturers. And so Secretary Dunn, Acting Secretary Weaver, as well as my old friend Tim Schaefer, I am in great company here because we all carry the same vision, which is that when it comes to getting people outside, you have to have a place for them to be. You have to have a welcoming infrastructure for that to happen. And that infrastructure can go as deep as a dam. It could go as shallow as a boat ramp. It can also go to where, for instance, myself, the last time I was in PA, I went up to the Monshore sheep farm for 4 days with my family and other families, and we just hung out with the sheep hens, and we went sledding, and we had a tremendous time being outdoors. My son and daughter saw stars in ways that they never saw them in DC before. So it's something that is very important to preserve and to enhance. But really what an director of outdoor recreation does is looks at ways to go much, much deeper than simply tourism promotion or simply fishing or that type of thing. It's how do we leverage all the assets that Pennsylvania has, all the assets that other states have, and bring them together and add in the federal dollars and, most importantly, the business dollars. There is a tremendous amount of opportunity for greater synthesis and action to bring both the state as well as the private dollars together. And it is really an office like Nathan's that steps back and says, hey, look around me. I can see where this agency and that business, this need can all go together. And so I think that this is a really great opportunity. Pennsylvania is joining 18 other states with a director of outdoor recreation or an office or a panel, all focused on trying to expand that. So I think a high-functioning Office of Outdoor Rec goes far deeper, and it really does take the breadth of experiences that a state needs and sees what it doesn't know it needs yet and helps it come to fore. So for the state of Pennsylvania, outdoor rec is almost 1.6% of its GDP. And that includes not only stores like this or people who might be out fishing and buying the reels and the creels that are needed, but it's also those businesses that build those products, the manufacturers that are based here. You know, one of our manufacturers is based in Philadelphia. They build cloth that protects your products from UV. So, it's her as well as many other businesses. And how can the state best leverage the money that we see coming out of DC now because of the pandemic has highlighted the fact that in the boating industry, our demand for product has increased 20%. That means the demand on the resource, the conservation products, conservation efforts as well, all have to be ready as this, I think, long-term interest in the outdoors is going to be here. So we have coming, across the transom really, $1.2 trillion in the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. And that was just put in place in December. That's a ton of money. We need to figure out how to not just receive it, but how do we get our best ROR out of it? And that is exactly why the agency has created a director and tried to make an opportunity to leverage these dollars and make the best of them. So as I say, there's 18 other states with an ORIC. They have gathered twice now at a central location to try to learn from one another. And that again is another benefit of having such a strong focus on a single source of recreational expertise that can bring us all together. So on behalf of the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable, on behalf of the NMMA, as well as all the 35 members who are that make up ORR, we applaud you. Thank you for helping us all see over the long term how to better enjoy the outdoors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David, and we appreciate your help very much as well. In addition to David, I want to recognize Benjamin Nasta, the State Government Affairs Director from the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable as well. And your comments about building connections and in this industry and pulling together for the benefit of all of outdoor recreation in Pennsylvania are well taken. And we in DCNR have and are looking forward to strengthening a multidimensional partnership with the Department of Community and Economic Development, as outdoor recreation really is deeply tied with both of our missions and our work. And in acknowledgement of that, it's my pleasure to welcome Acting Secretary Neil Weaver from DCED to the podium next to share some comments. Neil, please.
Good morning. I was told to stick to my script here because I could go on and on about the great opportunities we have here in Pennsylvania. I do want to recognize some of our team from DCED. We've got Carrie Lepore, who is our Deputy Secretary of Tourism, Marketing, and Film. We have Michael Ciappelloni, who is our Executive Director of the Tourism Office, and Mandy Book, who is our Deputy Secretary of Business Financing and Workforce Development. All folks that are incredibly important to what I'm talking about today. It's great to be here today with everybody, with my colleagues from the state, the National Marine Manufacturers Association, and Mr. Gliva from TCO Fly Shop. I saw that TCO has been in business for more than 30 years now, and they are a shining example of small businesses that started here in Pennsylvania and has continued to grow and succeed through the years. That's a testament to the hard work of the entire team at TCO, and it speaks to the dynamic and vibrant outdoor recreation economy we have in the Commonwealth. Whether it's fly fishing, hiking, camping, hunting, biking, anything and everything in between. Outdoor recreation is a massive part of Pennsylvania's economy, and it's a massive part of our identity. From Presque Isle and Erie to Elk Country in the Pennsylvania wilds, to the Delaware Water Gap on our eastern border, to Children's Lake right behind us, and the Appalachian Trail that runs next to it. These outdoor attractions are deeply rooted in the communities in which they're located. Even the name Pennsylvania, derived from Penn's Woods, evokes the outdoors. According to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, outdoor recreation adds $12 billion to the economy every year in Pennsylvania. We are one of the largest outdoor recreation economies in the nation. It is one that creates more than 150,000 jobs and connects people with their passion. So you can see how it isn't just something that provides funds for family on the weekends. It also sustains and grows our economy and provides hundreds of thousands of jobs. And that means it's a significant revenue generator for Pennsylvania, bringing nearly $2 billion in state and local tax revenue every year. The best part of all that revenue isn't just coming from people living in Pennsylvania. As TCO employees can attest, families and friends come from all over the East Coast and the rest of the country to experience our great outdoors. That's why our tourism office within DCED champions the calling card, Pursue Your Happiness. Its goal is to promote all Pennsylvania has to offer to domestic and international travelers, and outdoor recreation is a massive piece of that offering. Our tourism office enjoys a wonderful partnership with our sister agency, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. They work in concert to promote the must-see and must-do outdoor attractions. But there's one more benefit to our recreation economy. One of the primary objectives at DCED is to market Pennsylvania as a destination for businesses. We want them to relocate and create jobs and for people to come live here. And what we found time and time again is that businesses want to be located in a state with the highest possible quality of life, and that's exactly what we have here in Pennsylvania. There are many reasons for that, but the opportunities for outdoor recreation are a huge part of the equation. Businesses want their employees to be happy and healthy. They want to be located in areas where there are plenty of opportunities for employees to spend time with friends and family. And what better place to do that than Pennsylvania? So from an economic development and a community development perspective, our outdoor spaces are critically important. They are a key component to our vibrant economy. So in visiting businesses like TCO, we want to learn about their experiences of operating in Pennsylvania. But we also want to draw attention to the dramatic impact that outdoor recreation has on Pennsylvania. I want to thank Mr. Gliva and everyone at TCO team for hosting us today and helping us attract that attention, especially as we're starting to see the warmer days that draw people out of their home and into the outdoors. We at DCD are excited to continue our work with DCNR, the Fish and Boat Commission, our local partners across the state, and businesses like TCO to keep drumming up excitement for the opportunities that are out there and waiting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Outdoor recreation has been a tremendous part of my quality of life. It's what led me to be here, and it's so true and so heartfelt to hear you acknowledge that. Outdoor recreation is also a tremendous part of our economy here in the state of Pennsylvania. You hear a lot of talk here today about fishing and boating. We're at an outfitter on a lake. In 2020, fishing and boating economy in the state of Pennsylvania increased by 23%. In terms of its contribution to the state GDP, up to just a hair under $1 billion added to the state economy. And an economic activity of that size really does enable Pennsylvanians to connect their passions with their professions, which is something that Lenny Gliva here of TCO Fly Shop has certainly done. So let's welcome him to the podium to tell us a little bit about his experience running a business based on outdoor recreation here in the Commonwealth. Lenny?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming by. Obviously, if this is your first time in Boiling Springs, be sure to take some time, walk around the lake, see what we have to offer here in this great little town. As the gentleman before me have been saying, TCO was founded in Reading, Pennsylvania in 1990. Over the last 32 years, we've grown to include up to 4 different locations across the state. And the interesting thing about that is we have 4 very distinct and unique locations here in Boiling Springs, State College, Bryn Mawr in the main line of Philadelphia, and then obviously the original location in Reading. What's cool about that is that we are in a place where we have more resources than most people are aware of. We've heard about it all day long today. Pennsylvania has more miles of Class A trout water than any state in the lower 48. Alaska is the only guy that beats us, and they got a little bit more ground than we do. Point is, we are incredibly lucky here in Pennsylvania. We have a proper 12-month-a-year fishing season. We have the ability to get out and enjoy both our waterways, our creeks, rivers, lakes, but obviously also our woods, our trails. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Over the last few years, obviously, we've all, I think, felt drawn to the outdoors again, right? We were cramped and cooped up for a very long time. So to see this large boom in outdoor recreation has been fantastic for us as a business, but also fantastic for me as a person. I feel like I'm incredibly lucky to be able to introduce people to the sport for the first time. People that maybe haven't fished since they were a little kid, people who have maybe never fished in their entire lives come into the shop, and we can walk them through how to get started, where to go, what to do. And it's a really, really rewarding, satisfying thing for us. Obviously, we're a business, and we love selling stuff too, but it's really, really about getting people outside and enjoying what we have here in Pennsylvania. Like I said, we have been incredibly lucky and really excited to continue to welcome all these new people into the sport. So again, thank you very much for coming out today, guys. It's been a fantastic morning. Thank you again.
We can't thank you enough for having us. And we have our other local host, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. Lenny, you mentioned the many resources we have here, more than people realize. And as a representative of DCNR, I think about state parks and state forests. When I think about outdoor recreation, I think about them first. But it's important to recognize the great diversity of resource managers and opportunity providers in our state when it comes to outdoor recreation. We have our federal partners in the National Forest, National Park System, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, their lands. We have our local and county parks. At the state level, there are also many providers, including the Pennsylvania Game Commission and the Fish and Boat Commission. I hate to call you an unsung hero because I know that you are sung about a lot. But please join us, Executive Director Tim Schaefer. Please join us here at the podium.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thanks everybody for coming today. And I was going to end my remarks with talking about the lake behind us, but I think I'll start there. So where you are here in Boiling Springs, this is a facility that we operate on behalf of the Commonwealth in partnership with South Middleton Township. So Boiling Springs, I guess it's a village, but it's actually within South Middleton Township. We have a great relationship with the township. We just executed a lease that's being signed for them to take over a portion of the property that we actually own. But they're going to operate it as more of a park-like setting around the lake, and we're real excited about that. But I guess the big news here locally is that we have the funding in place, thanks to Governor Wolf, Senator Reagan, Representative Ecker, and a whole host of partners. We expect to break ground on the new dam by June 1st of this year. It's been a long time in the making. I cannot say enough good things about our relationship with the folks at the township. So what you're going to see happen here is we'll start construction. We're going to have a trout season. We'll start stocking fish here. We've actually begun started stocking statewide. But opening day of trout season will be on April 2nd. This place will be lined with people the week before, which will be March 26th as our Mentored Youth Trout Day. A couple years ago, we started opening trout season a week early for kids, and they loved it. And David, if you've never been to Pennsylvania on the opening day of trout season, it is like a holiday, and the folks here at TCO know that. So we will stock the lake. Our partners up at the local cooperative nursery at Yellow Breeches Anglers, they'll also be doing so. And then we'll have most of a trout season, but to build the new lake, we're going to have to drain the lake. What will happen there, we get this question all the time, is we'll basically open it up and allow the trout that we've stocked in there, they're going to make their way down into the Yellow Breeches, those that are still in the lake at that point. We expect the project to take about a year long, and then by this time next year, Mother Nature willing, we'll have the dam constructed and we'll be good to go for the rest of all of our lifetimes, the next several decades, for the lifetime of that lake. So really, really excited about that. If you've never been fishing, I'm not going to repeat all the statistics that you've heard today, but if you've not been fishing before in Pennsylvania, we can help. Really encourage you to contact your local outfitters. They are a wealth of knowledge. I know they offer courses and clinics and helpful tips. Our website, which is fishandboat.com, we offer a number of it's our education portal, which really was beefed up during the last 2 years with online content. But we do family fishing events across Pennsylvania. You've never done it before, give it a shot. We have a great relationship with our partners at DCNR. An increasing number of state parks are fishing tackle loaner programs. So you don't have a rod, well, you can certainly buy one here, but if you want to test it out first, you can go to a local state park and just take out a rod for free. We're happy to offer that up. I mentioned our website. I should mention the mobile app. One of the things that we've tried to do is act more like a business within our agency and to make it easier for our customers. And these things are where it's at, right? And so if you go to Fish Boat PA, which is our mobile app, and I'll put Mike Parker, our communications director, on the spot, maybe while I'm talking, he could look up what the stocking date is here for Children's Lake. Everything is right on that Fishboat PA mobile app or on fishandboat.com, our website. David, obviously, with his interest in boating, we share that, and we have a feature on our app that shows you where the closest boating accesses are 5, 10, 15, 20 miles away. It'll tell you right where you are. You can figure it out geographically. Like Cindy mentioned, living in Cumberland County, I live downstream in New Cumberland, and I could literally kayak home from here if I wanted to and get out at Borough Park in New Cumberland. It was mentioned about, a lot about trout here in Pennsylvania, but we really have something for everything. We put that tagline in our strategic plan. We're a Great Lakes state, if you can believe it, as we sit here, as Cindy said, at the edge of the Blue Ridge. We have a phenomenal walleye fishery. I mean, you got to try not to catch your limit of walleye in Lake Erie right now. Tremendous steelhead fishery that's still going on. It'll go on through the spring. In addition to be a Great Lakes state, we're also a member of the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission because of the striped bass and American shad that's been part of their life in the Delaware River and it's part of their life in the ocean. And then everything in between, from small lakes like Pine Grove Furnace, not too far from here, to larger lakes like Raystown and Lake Wallenpaupack. There really are tons of fishing opportunities for everybody. Two things I'll note at the end. One is that requires access. And Nathan and I were talking about ways we could start to work together. We have an increasing interest in communities and how to connect to waterways where they are. So if anybody's listening today from a township or a borough or a county in Pennsylvania saying, man, I am just overrun with kayaks every weekend and our local park's a muddy mess, give us a call at the Fish and Boat Commission. We have a grant program called our Boating Facility Grant, where we actually provide grants out to municipalities, partner up with DCNR to strategically time our grants with Lauren and her team so they can make the most of it. For example, up in the Lackawaxen River, up in Wayne County, we're doing that right now. So boating access is really where it's at. If you're struggling with that as a municipality, let us know. We can help. Last thing I'll say, and I say it all the time, and I mean it all the time. I don't care if you remember one thing I say from today, it's wear your life jacket. We had 9 recreational boating fatalities in Pennsylvania last year. 7 were not wearing their life jacket. 3 of them possibly involve drugs or alcohol, but please, please, please wear your life jacket. In particular this time of year, it is getting warmer. I think, oh my gosh, what's the big deal? I'll go out in my kayak or on a lake. We have a mandatory life jacket wear for November 1st through April 30th in Pennsylvania for all canoes, kayaks, and boats under 16 feet. It may be a warm day now, but that water is still bone-chillingly cold. So you have to wear your life jacket up until April 30th, but we ask you to do it all year long. So thanks for being here. And I guess I'm the final speaker, but I will note that Nathan is going to go inside and buy his fishing license at the end. TCO is one of our network of about 700 issuing agents that we have. And I should tell you that I bought my 5-year license here 4 years ago. So I guess I'll be back. See you next year. That's right. See you next year. So thanks. March 24th is when we'll be stocking Children's Lake. So thanks. Yep.
Thank you very much, Tim, and thank you for the safety message and your concern that we can't spend too much time on that. And we really do have a lot of points of connection. You're talking about your mentored youth trout season and our interest in supporting new outdoor recreationists, diverse outdoor recreationists, the role technology is playing in outdoor recreation, connecting outdoor recreation assets to communities, thinking about ways we can build recreation into our daily lives with commutes for health and well-being. These really are ways that we can connect and ways that we can support all of Pennsylvanians. So with those comments, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us here today and welcome any questions that you may have for me or any of our distinguished guests. Yeah, please.
Down behind Nathan here so we can all answer questions.
Yes, please.
So what would your pitch be to folks in the surrounding states and within our state to get out and come use our great outdoor recreational facilities that we have?
Here in Pennsylvania, we have some of the most vast and wild natural resources in the state, with the Pennsylvania Wilds, our state forests, the Allegheny National Forest. We also have a tremendous number of outdoor recreation opportunities connected to communities. We heard about connecting waterways to communities earlier. In DCNR, we've been doing a lot of work to make sure that there's trail access within minutes walk and drive of every community. So my pitch to others would be based on the diversity of our opportunities and the ways that they connect our natural resources to our communities.
Thank you.
What can county economic development agencies do to become engaged and be part of this?
The short answer is give me a phone call. Do you have something?
No, you go ahead, but when you're done, I have an idea.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, let's just get you going then.
Cumberland County is a good example of this. The county raises some of its own funds to match our grants. We have a community conservation partnership program. It put out $70 million this year across Pennsylvania for local parks, trails, water access improvement. So the counties that have their act together, that understand this value and match the dollars and help create a plan. Here in Cumberland County, we have a Greenways and Trails plan. There's a good plan. There's a network of township parks that they fund, and then they fund some open space. In a growing area like Cumberland County, you need more green space in that matrix of land and places to connect and broaden the assets that we currently have. So the counties that have their act together and invest and then tell the story of the quality of life of that investment, like Cumberland does, are the ones that succeed the most. And so I think we're standing in a good county for that, and it's a model that others here in the South Mountain have emulated. The 4 counties of the South Mountain Partnership get that very well, and we'd love to see that expand across the state.
Yeah, if I could just add, and here in Cumberland County, we also have a Possum Lake, and we have a great relationship with the county here. It's a lake that we operate, but have a local partnership in providing some of the amenities there. One that comes to mind is I was 2 weeks ago up in the Poconos, and the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau covers, I believe it's Carbon, Monroe, Wayne, and Pike counties. And we working with them on a promotion for opening day to get people they want to get people to come to the Poconos for the opening day of trout season. Well, another thing that we're trying to promote is the fact that you can fish all week long. It's not just about opening day. It's not just about the weekends. You can really fish, 7 days a week, 365. So would welcome the chance to work with Cumberland County to promote all the great fishing related and boating related amenities here in the county. Also for the counties, we have agreements with a number of county entities that operate, I mentioned Possum Lake, but Mincy Lake up in Northampton County comes to mind, Somerset Lake in Somerset County. We actually work directly with the county commissioners to enter into lease agreements where they operate the areas around the lakes that we manage for recreational amenities other than fishing and boating. Our agency, a lot of people don't realize, receive no general fund tax dollars. We're self-funded by fishing licenses and boat registrations and federal excise tax dollars built into the cost of fishing and boating equipment. So we happily work with counties to operate leases, really essentially no cost, and then they operate them as local county parks. So happy to talk to anyone here in Cumberland County or throughout the Commonwealth about that.
Geese agree.
Yeah, thank you both. Recognizing that partnerships really are how these kinds of projects happen and benefits are delivered is very important. Any more questions? Yes, please.
Can you elaborate on how you will advance outdoor recreational opportunities to environmental justice communities across the state?
Certainly. It's a very important topic. The first step is acknowledging that environmental justice communities, both as places, communities, and as populations, need more attention and more support than they've had. I think also we need to acknowledge that those of us in state government need to begin from a position of listening and understanding, trying to learn what their wants are, trying to analyze how we've fallen short of satisfying those wants, and then honestly collaborating together to lay out a path moving forward. So we start by setting our minds about it. Then we move forward by listening, and once we once we've established trust and a mutual understanding, then I think we can work together and make progress. Thank you very much. Go take a walk somewhere around Boiling Springs.
You can walk to Georgia or Maine if you prefer. Many of us have grown up with and really enjoying. We have some leaders at DCNR I want to acknowledge who have been trying to bring a focus to that. The biggest block of public lands in the Commonwealth, and we fund the local communities and the biggest network of trails and the highest number of water trails. Nonetheless, the opportunity around outdoor recreation that we have for not only the economy of Pennsylvania, but for the quality of life and the very future of Pennsylvania.
There's a dam. It could go as shallow as a boat ramp. It can also go to where, for instance, myself, last time I was in PA, a tremendous time being outdoors. My son and daughter saw stars in ways that they never saw them in DC before. So it's something that is very important